Happy Monday. Welcome to the Healing She Got Faith show. Welcome to episode 51. And our topic for today is welcome to the new year. Meet Healing She Got Faith. So I am Lily. I am the founder. I am your host. And we are going to do kind of a reintroduction to Healing She Got Faith. Of course, we're gonna celebrate entering 2023 because we're here. We made it. The last month of December has been crazy, so we're gonna get into that. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Lily. I'm your founder. I am your favorite community social worker. And of course, I'm your host of this podcast. I'm also the founder of Healing She Got Faith. I'm a published author. I write the blogs. I provide grief support. And so we are here today to say welcome. If you are a continuing listener, thank you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it to 2023. Thank you so much for your continuing support. All right. So we are going to start with our icebreaker, and I'm super excited because I got a new deck of cards. So if you don't know what the icebreaker is where I bring affirmation cards, I shuffle them, I pull them, I read it, and if I read it, no, not if. When I read it, we see if it resonates with us, why or why not. I do this icebreaker whether I'm speaking at a conference, a school, the podcast just by myself with the guests. It's the only icebreaker I'll ever have. I'll always try to do it. And if it's not if it's not a deck of cards, it's usually like a quote or something like that. But nevertheless, like reading it and discussing to see if it resonates with you, it's a really good comfortable conversation instead of doing like those awkward icebreakers that be like, oh, tell me your name and your favorite color, but like no, like a really good conversation starter, so where we just get to know each other and get to know like where we're at mentally. So we will start with our icebreaker. So I got a new deck of cards. It is from Black Female Therapists. Y'all know I have invested in them. I get their daily affirmations. I have two or three of their other decks of cards. I think it's two. I think this is a third deck. So they had came out with a deck of cards last year. I had got this right before I left for Florida. We'll talk about that. And so this is the first time I'm using it, so I'm super excited. So check out blackfemaletherapist.com, subscribe to their daily affirmations, and purchase their cards, utilize their services, check out their website, go give them some traffic, please. All right, so these are Black Female Therapist affirmation cards. So today it says success, and it says, today is going to be an incredibly fulfilling day as I work towards my own definition of success. When my intentions, purpose, and efforts are aligned, I can turn steps towards my goals into achievements. I'm a master at manifesting new opportunities, and I'm at the right place at the right time. I will say thank you in advance for the fruit this affirmation will bear. I prepare to excel today. I read this card and was like, yo, this is right on time. So it does resonate because I don't know what it is about 2023, but I have a different feeling going into it. And I think I can give credit to all the work I've been doing in the last year on myself and exactly what it is that I am working towards. And so in 2023, I just had this newfound feeling of purpose. I had this newfound feeling of what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'm really big on intentions, and I'm really big on just focusing on what is it that like Lisa needs? What is it that I want to do? How can I get to this place? One of the things that I've been very honest in my journey is like my business journey just does not look like the other entrepreneurs on Instagram. Like, and so like I don't even really talk about it. Like when I post on social media, it's mostly just like stuff about the business, promotions, challenges, just things like that. I don't really talk about the journey because it doesn't look like it. And I'm trying to find a way to say it without sounding like a negative Nancy. but it like being in the truth, because like I haven't had a successful financial year. I haven't had the amount of clients that I would like to have. I haven't surpassed a certain um like number or goal, and I've been to an accountant, and the accountant like almost laughing at me like, "Oh, this is your business? Like, oh, you better get to work," and not knowing that like I have spent days in and out of this building on the computer, like busting my ass to like make this my livelihood. And sometimes the shit just don't fucking work. And I think like we don't talk enough about that. And that was something really big that I talked about in 2022, about when you can do everything from A to Z and it's still not working in your favor. We don't talk about that. And that could be very many reasons. And throughout this year, I think we will go to that, and we will definitely like speak about that, and try to come up with some solutions, because sometimes if you're just saying like, oh well, it's not working, like, well, like, what are you gonna do about it? That's a whole different podcast episode. Back to the icebreaker. Um I woke up today and was really just motivated. Like I had all intentions of recording a podcast episode yesterday to release it today, because I want to start being proactive and just having episodes just ready to go, like already scheduled out. That did not happen. I mean, and honestly, I don't know why I thought I was gonna work after a holiday. So I'm here today. So I intentionally woke up early, and was very intentional about doing my morning routine, getting into the mind frames to come here and give you all content. So I was very intentional about that. But also too, like I'm very much motivated. Like even last night, like I was up working on some stuff for Healing She Got Faith, and just having the intentionality of this is going to work for me. I'm going to be very intentional in the things that I do, not only with my business, but with myself, because I'm now at a place where I understand when you take care of yourself, life works. Life just happens. That doesn't mean that bad things won't happen. That doesn't mean that success automatically comes. But I truly am in a place where I believe that if I'm taking care of myself, life will fall in place. And I truly believe that me taking care of myself and putting myself out there, things will work out. And so that's the mindset I came in today. The first line says, "Today is going to be an incredibly fulfilling day as I work towards my own definition of success." Yesterday, I was working on my goals. I was working on challenges. I have been using Google Tasks. And so, like, literally going through Google Tasks, making different lists, and in those lists, making different steps to fulfill what it is. So, like, in my Google Tasks, I have it split up to like personal tasks, Healing She Got Faith, the challenges, business, doctor's appointments, all of that. So I have it split up into like that, and like sections like that or whatever. And so really thinking about like what is success to me, like what would success look like? Is I think in the month of January, I'm going to really determine like what will success look like for me. And instead of looking at an end goal, I think doing a quarterly and maybe even a 30-day, which I did try to do last year. I was not consistent with it. So this year, reflecting on what I did last year and then trying to better that for this year. Because everybody does vision boards, everybody does yearly goals, everybody does all this stuff. But the thing about most people is like we do all these vision boards and we do all these fantastic, phenomenal things. But then when December 31st comes, we haven't looked at that vision board since the day we made it. Okay. And to me, that's just not productive. I like the second line that says, "When my intentions, purpose, and efforts are aligned, I can turn steps towards my goals into achievement." I love that they use the word intentions, because I very much am focused on that. Might even be my word for 2023 is intentions. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. Intentions, purpose, and efforts. And so intentions, being very intentional about what it is that you're doing to go to your purpose. And this and they use purpose in this. So knowing your purpose, knowing what it is that you are called to do on this earth. For me, I'm called to love people. I'm called to be empathetic. I'm called to show forgiveness that looks different. Like some like normal people have like, oh, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a rapper. I want to be a basketball player. No, Lisa's like, no, like I am here to show love, provide a safe space for grief, and show empathy. That's my purpose. So there's a lot of different things that go into that. I don't have one title. I don't have one thing to do. I have one organization that provides all these different things. So I have to be very intentional about what exactly I'm doing and what exactly I am feeding into my purpose. And then it says when efforts are aligned. So when intentions, purpose, and efforts are aligned, your efforts is everything that you do while being intentional to feed into your purpose. Now, this card don't say all that. This is Lisa's interpretation, but this is also how my brain works. This is also like how I move forward and how I'm so organized and how I'm so motivated and goal oriented and things like that. A lot of people always say, like, Lisa, you're so organized, like you're one of the most organized people that I know, which is very true because this is how my brain works. So you guys are in real time, in real life, hearing this. It says, I can turn steps. Oh, no, I already read that. It says, I am a master at manifesting new opportunities and I am at the right place at the right time. Let me tell y'all something. In December, I call her one of my boss bays. And she's been on the show. She's going to be on the show very soon. Miss LR Wilson. She reached out to me and actually, no. We had a couple business meetings in December because I'm trying to help her in some things and we're trying to collaborate. We're trying to get things done. We also have a very authentic friendship. So not only are we business partners, essentially, we're also really, really good friends. Even though we were meeting for business, we were still feeding and pouring into each other as friends, because the thing about it is, like, you are your home. Like, your body, your heart, your brain, that is your home. When your home isn't right, the rest of the world isn't going to be right. So how you feel about your personal is going to affect your business. And so that's very important to remember when you're partnering with people, when you're in your friends. Think about your circle. Think about that. Like, what is it? Do you have to let somebody go? That's a different podcast, y'all, but we're going to move forward. Anyways, she invited me to do this challenge called the Happiness Project, which it is a book. I saw they had a podcast. It's a website, so you can look that up, the Happiness Project. I did not read the book. It's going to be on my list today. Today. It's going to be on my list this year to read that book. But based off of what LR was telling me, it was like for 31 days you do something that makes you happy. So I know how I am. I knew that I was not going to physically do something for 31 days. So I put my little Lisa's twist on it. And I was like, well, I'll post for 31 days something that makes me happy. And so I did it. I completed it. While we were in this challenge, she hits me up, and I can't speak about it because it's not done yet. But she invited me to do another challenge that I have been committed to. And it was me, her, and another lady. We were so committed, we extended it. Now, from my understanding, it was the other lady's idea for this particular challenge. Nevertheless, all three of us showed up every morning to do what we agreed to do. Like I said, we were so committed, we extended it. So once that project is done and once that comes out the dark, I'll talk more about it. But this brings me back to this line. It says, I am a master at manifesting new opportunities and I am at the right place at the right time. LR basically put me in two challenges that put me in the right place, and I am seeing manifestations come to life. I was put in a position that I had no choice but to speak life over myself and to really dig deep to know what it is that I want and what it is that I know I deserve. So when this card says I am the master at manifesting new opportunities, this is something new for me. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that I've 100% always thought this, because like I said before, you can do everything right, nothing comes out right. Like, it can still not work out, which is very much true. But there's power in shifting your perspective. There's power in being honest and being your authentic self, right? And so I am now believing that what I'm writing, when I'm doing these challenges, I am manifesting these opportunities that I have desired for so long. And I do believe I am at the right place at the right time. It's not a coincidence that LR hit me up when she did. It's not a coincidence that I met the other lady when I did. I am at the right place at the right time. And these ladies have helped poured into me to end 2022 on a very positive note and to come into 2023 very ready. So I believe that. And it says, I will say thank you in advance for the fruit this affirmation will bear. I prepare to excel today. This is powerful because this is gratitude. And I have been trying to practice gratitude. In 2022, I did a 6-month healing. And one of the months was, maybe it was month 5 or 6. I did gratitude. And one of the reasons why I was so adamant about showing gratitude is because I was never committed to showing gratitude. It was always so hard for me to show gratitude. Like, I didn't understand it. I didn't know how people could commit to this. Did not make sense. So in my healing journey, I committed to showing gratitude for all of month 6, and I completed it. And so with that, I was proud because I completed a 6-month journey or challenge that I have never done that before. Like, I am always like starting stuff like that and never finishing. And a lot of times it's because like the group of people I'm doing it with, like if one person not committed, I'm not committed, or just things like that. Or like I got tired of doing things by myself, like inviting people to do these awesome things for us to grow and people not committing. So in 2022, I was very intentional about self. And if I'm not mistaken, in 2022, I declared that that was the year of self. And so I was taught that I can no longer depend on other people to do these visions. 2022 was my year to sit with myself and be with myself, and to really, because for so long I have been wrapped around other people looking for um validation, looking for their permission to be myself. And I just felt like, between God and myself, no, we're not doing this no more. Like, you need to figure out your worthiness with just you. You cannot worry about everybody else. And when you're doing these challenges, it shouldn't matter who is committed and who's not. Are you committed? Are you going to still do what you were called to do, even when the team does not show up? Now, don't get me wrong. Teamwork is the best work. I am not saying that I'm so independent, I don't need team. I am praying. I am manifesting that I will have a team by the end of the year. I am manifesting that, y'all, because I can no longer do this by myself. I can no longer be in a position to where I am the one man show that I've been. I cannot do that. But I know that I was in that position for a reason. I know that I had to go through what I went through last year, and I know I had to focus on self in order to be who I am today, in order to have this conversation. So, yes, this card resonated and it's so deep. It helped me to break down everything I've been feeling since December. So, yes, that was our icebreaker. All right, let's move on to our check in. So, how am I feeling today? Physically, I feel like my body is trying to get sick. I have been fighting this sore throat. Let me tell you, I thought I had a sore throat from singing karaoke on New Year's Eve, but yesterday I tossed and turned and could not sleep. So I feel like my body is trying to either catch a cold. I will say this, if you've been listening, you know that I've been really struggling with like my nasal care because the air in St. Louis is so dry. And so like my nasal has been dry. And so I was reading and it said that like if you have dry nasal, it can affect your throat. So I have been stocked up on saline. So I've been trying to keep my nasal moisturized, drink a lot of water. I just started this thing where I'm drinking a lot of lemon water. So like definitely in the morning, definitely at night. And before I start the day, that's something else that like I've constantly just been back and forth, but like being very intentional about. I'm going to wake up and the first thing I do is drink lemon water. Being intentional about, okay, like my nighttime routine starts at this time. And so at this time, I need to be making my water. I need to be doing X, Y, and Z, because also too, it's affecting my physical body. So when it starts to affect your physical body, you really have to be intentional about like what you're doing, what your life is. So physically, I am a little fatigued. I just feel like I haven't really had a break. Like I planned out this hiatus and this sabbatical, and I just feel like I haven't really had a chance to really like break, if that makes sense. But I'm happy. Like I am genuinely motivated and happy and encouraged to move forward through life. I'm honestly, I have like this influx of energy and creativity that I really want to like push forward and really want to pour into my life. What I am going to have to work on this year is distractions. I am going to have to know that, like, when my body is in creative and energetic mode, I cannot help other people. I cannot say yes to things when it's an inconvenience to my creativity. So that is definitely going to be something that I work on this year. But overall, I think I feel good. I'm excited. I'm happy that we're here. I'm happy that the new year is here. So that is my check-in. So let's hop into our topic. So today's topic is welcome to the new year, meet Healing She Got Faith. So Healing She Got Faith was created in November of 2020. It started off as a blog, and it started off as just a place where I wanted to write and provide a safe space for adults who were grieving and adults who just needed to hear about grief, adults who just needed to, like, say I miss my mommy and daddy, like like, or whatever they missed. As I got into my grief bag, I started to do just like a lot of research. I started reading a lot on grief and learning that, like, grief goes beyond death. Like, you grieve more than just someone that died. You grieve a relationship. You can grieve somebody who is still alive, but they're just not in your life. You can grieve a dog, a pet. You can grieve the transition of a job. You can miss college. Maybe you miss your college days. Maybe you miss your high school days. Like, you can grieve that. If you have a terminal illness, you can grieve the body you once had prior to the terminal illness. If you're married now, you might grieve your single life. If you have a kid now, you might grieve your childless life. You can even grieve the relationship you thought you were going to have with somebody, or the relationship you thought you were going to have with your parents, or just things like that. So grief is very broad. In this society, we are not taught much about grief. There's not a lot of talk about it. We don't have policies that really help us. In 2022, that was the first time the DSM-5 actually had diagnoses for grief. And if you don't know what the DSM-5 is, it's basically the book that tells us about diagnoses. It's really big in psychology. So, like, a lot of psychology stuff, I know, like, in the social services industries, we work with the DSM-5 a lot. So, and it's basically the book of diagnoses. I think that's the only simple way I can put it. So, and then if anybody's in psychology or sociology or medical professional, if I said that wrong, please correct me. But from my understanding as a community social worker, it's the book of diagnoses, and it helps us to understand what each diagnosis is. How do we diagnose? Why do we diagnose? And when I say we, I'm not actually diagnosing anybody. I mean, like, people who are actually clinically and licensed clinically. I more so use it to help other people understand their diagnoses and what it actually means. So, anyways, this is the first time that we have diagnoses for grief. Um, I'm not really gonna speak on that in this episode on how I feel about that or whatever the case may be. I think I have a previous episode where I spoke on it, but I just want y'all to have the education versus, like, my opinion. So, anyways, um, so yeah, so it started off as a blog speaking about grief. I started to play with building a website, and I wanted to build, like, this online community. And then during the time I was actually working with my sister, we had a virtual assistant business. It was doing pretty good, fairly good. But my sister had brought to my attention, like, you have all these credentials, like, you could monetize Healing She Got Faith. You could turn it into an organization. So we turned it into an organization. It started off as a nonprofit, and I have been in the nonprofit industry professionally since I was 18 years old. I've been in the nonprofit world since I was 12. I have seen nonprofits on a global level. I have seen nonprofits down to only 5 people running it. I have seen nonprofits down to only one person running it. When I went to get my master's of social work, one of the last couple of classes I took was nonprofit management, because I was getting, what do they call it at my school? They call it a specialization. And so I was getting specialized in nonprofit management. Those classes changed my whole perspective on nonprofit, and it changed it to where I'm like, I feel like growing up, we were taught nonprofits were good. We were taught, nonprofits are here to help people and do this and do that. And being in the industry, it shifted my perspective. And I remember like sitting in my last class and was like, I will never have a nonprofit. Like, this is for the birds. And so I let people talk me into getting a nonprofit when I knew in my heart I did not want it to be a nonprofit. I just wanted it to be an LLC and call it a day. Fun fact about me, I also did not want to be in entrepreneurship. And so that is a battle I fight every day because I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never wanted to work for myself. I never wanted that responsibility. So when I was grieving and it came to this and I became an entrepreneur because of grief, it's been a battle ever since. So so open up a nonprofit. I couldn't get anybody to be a board member to save my life. It was a waste of time, y'all. And so 6 months out of 2022, I was fighting with the state. I was fighting with just different things to taxes, all type of stuff to dissolute my nonprofit just to be a for-profit LLC because it was just a lot easier. But in this, I created grief groups. I became a published author. I started selling books where I talked about grief. I started doing grief challenges, doing a lot of journaling activities. I had a couple mental health activities up here. When I say here in my building. So I also opened a community office in St. Louis, Missouri, where it is a safe, like a physical safe place for grief. So Healing She Got Faith, I would say, is an umbrella. Under the umbrella, we have the office that we have the healing side and we have the professional side. Professional side, you can rent out the desk, you can rent out the desk and you can do homework, professional development, meetings, whatever you want to do. It's really a place, like a co-working space is what it is. The healing side, we have different things that you can do. So we have a memorial wall, so you can bring pictures, items, set them on the memorial wall, and that's where we honor everybody that we're grieving. And so I'm very specific in that, saying everyone that we're grieving because not everybody has died and some people are still here. So there's that. What else? And then also too, like we have a couch, we have a TV. It's really just a place to release. So we do programming here, we do a lot of different things, but overall, it's a place for us to be able to grieve and have that place. My books are under that. So currently, I have Everyone Has a Story book bundle, so that falls under Healing She Got Faith. I also sell other journals that falls under Healing She Got Faith. I also have my podcast and the blog that also falls on the Healing She Got Faith, and then I do professional development, professional development and motivational speaker, which also is under Healing She Got Faith. So it's a lot going on. We do a whole lot. We do partnerships, we do community programming, community development. We do a lot of different things. My background is in community social work, so I have my bachelor's of science in social work, and then I have my master's of social work in community and organization with a specialization in nonprofit management. So all of that comes together as me doing Healing She Got Faith. And so what are my goals for Healing She Got Faith? I would really like Healing She Got Faith to be the hub of grief work. I would really love for this podcast to take off, my blogs to take off. But I think I don't like I would love everything to be monetized so I have consistent revenue coming in, but I really would like the podcast to like blow up and be what it needs to be in order to be successful. That would really make me happy. But also too, I want to be in my writing bag. So like I want my book. So I plan on re-releasing Everyone Has a Story. So currently it's not out. I'm working with another publisher to see what that looks like. But also too, I'm working on my second book, so I'm hoping that will be out this year as well. So I think like with my writings and my podcast, I would really like for those things to blow up to bring me consistent revenue and to be like everything I need it to be. Um, and for the most part, I just want it to be an organization where people know that you can grieve, people are learning about grief, people are advocating for grief resources. So yeah, that's kind of what Healing She Got Faith is. We're going to move forward with just growing. We got a couple challenges. So today we started the Love You the Way You Love the World 30-day journaling challenge, which I think is really cool. I think that's a really dope thing to join. You just tag us, comment, post on any social media platform that we're on, and just let us know that you're doing it so we can help hold each and every one of us accountable. So I think like just being very active in the community. I'm a very community centered person. So like I love living amongst the community. I love doing things amongst the community, and I want Healing She Got Faith to be that. So that is Healing She Got Faith. If you have any questions, you can check us out at HealingSheGotFaith.com. You can book a 30-minute free consultation with me. Ask me anything you want. If you're interested in our programs, you can go to HealingSheGotFaith.com/programs. If you're interested in renting out a space or a desk, if you need a place to have like a group meeting, you can go to HealingSheGotFaith.com/services and just book service or book desk. So pretty simple. Everything is on the website. Please do not try to call or text our number. We will get it, but it just takes a lot longer. If you do everything through the website, it's so much faster. We have a system that we can do. It's an all-in-one. So if you try to text or call us, it's a lot harder for us to get back to you. But if you do the website, it's a lot more easier. So if y'all have any questions, just let me know. Healing She Got Faith is literally an organization for adults or anybody who is just dealing with grief and or on their self-love journey. That's the simple Cliff Notes version of that. We are here to support you in your grief journey. So yeah, thank you. That's Healing She Got Faith. So couple more things and then we'll be over. We'll be over the show. Affirmations. So what is today's affirmation? So the affirmation is different from the affirmation cards we pick at the beginning because I want you all to leave with an affirmation that you can focus on until the next time. And so I am going to kind of take something from the affirmation card we use, but I want us to focus on being intentional and I want us to focus on the manifestations, okay? So I love this, the part where it says, when my intentions, purpose and efforts are aligned, I can turn steps towards my goals and achievements. I am a master at manifesting new opportunities and I'm at the right place at the right time. I want our affirmation to be, I am intentional and I am the master at manifesting all my opportunities. I am intentional and I am the master of manifesting all of the opportunities I want. I think I said it differently 2 different times, but we'll stick with the second one. So I am intentional and I'm a master at manifesting all the opportunities that I want. That is our affirmation. Okay. Let's look at housekeeping. All right, so housekeeping, we are still closed until the 17th, but you will still get your blogs and podcasts. The blogs have kind of been off, so just look on social media with the blogs. I gotta come up with a system for that. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. As you can tell, I'm doing a lot, so I just have to figure that part out. We will be announcing new programs soon. You can catch us here every Monday at 3 p.m. We will be really active on social media. So make sure you're following us on social media on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Anchor, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Audible. Make sure you are you are going to the website to look at new things. Um, Also, too, I will be transitioning from my personal social media to my business. I'm thinking I'm gonna take a hiatus from social media, like just being on social media and just being active. I just have a lot of things that I would like to do, and I don't want social media to be a distraction to that. So, with that being said, make sure you're following all the business Healing She Got Faith. Which if you type in Healing She Got Faith, all of that stuff pops up. If you would like an easier way to follow us, HealingSheGotFaith.com/links. It has every social media and it has every podcast platform that we are on. It's a one-stop shop. You can follow us on every single thing. All right. I'm going to leave you all with a happy new year. I'm so glad we made it. I'm so glad we're here. Happy New Year to you and yours. I love you all and I thank you all for being here. Love you the way you love the world. Bye, guys.